Ain't even like that. Just trying to match my swag. 'Cause I'm so cold. Ain't even like that. Just trying to match my swag. 'Cause I'm so cold.
Greetings, y'all. This is Priestess Monjasola. I just want to let you guys know about my free mentorship, When Magic is Black Academy. It is a 12-week, intense, fast-paced mentorship, okay? It's going to be about Ifa, Hoodoo, and metaphysical spirituality, okay? It is awesome, an awesome way to begin your healing, to begin remembering who you are and why you are, okay? You guys, make sure you guys check out the link in my bio before you go ahead and check that out. I mean, why not? It's free, all right? But it is work. So come in and ready to work. You have daily assignments and assignments that you need to get done in 3 tiers, all right? It's definitely worth it. I've been helping a lot of people. I started my own mentorship, okay? So this is all about what Priestess Monjasola is teaching you, okay? So go ahead, click the link in my bio, get into this 12-week free mentorship. It's going to help you in your healing and remembering who you are. Peace. Okay, my loves, that's one of my favorite prayers of Allah. So we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. I say sermon, but it could be lecture, but it's, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, okay? So today is Ose Obatala. So today is Obatala Day according to the Ifa calendar. Okay. Some of you guys don't have it because you're not initiated with the hand of Ifa or full initiation. You guys will receive that once that happens. Okay. But today is celebrated. We celebrate Obatala. We venerate him today. Okay. So just a little lesson about Obatala. Under the leadership of Supreme Ororun, which is Olodumare, who created the universe. Obatala is the God who created humanity and the world religion in Yoruba. And the world and Yoruba religion of Nigeria. Okay. So this is tradition that is in Nigeria and Yoruba land. Obatala, who was also known as Olaksa, Orisha Enla, is the oldest of all Orishas. Okay. A lot of the Orishas have different parts to them. Okay. Obatala is known to have 42 different energies within him. Okay. So some of Obatala's praise names are Oluwa Aye, the father of laughter, and Baba Araye, which is the father of humanity. Now, Obatala descended from heaven on a chain, which is an iron chain, and we call that Ogun. He came down to mold the first humans in new molds that is in every child in every womb. Okay, that's what he's known of. He's the molder. He's the one that molds the clay of the human body. Now, Obatala created the world and humanity. As Olorun breathed life into humans. So after Obatala created the form of humans, it was Olorun, Olodumare, who breathed life into them. So in Yoruba, Oba means king, and Tala means undyed fabric, okay? A blank canvas, basically white, which is why he is the king of the white cloth. It is said to be a tranquil judge. So he also judged people, okay? He judges your character. This is why he is the governor of one's mind, okay? One's characteristics. He holds you accountable of your character and basically what you're supposed to be doing on your soul's journey on your path. So Batala is honored with brilliant white cloth, white lace, white beads, and cowries. You could also give him white flowers, silver coins, and silver jewelry as well, okay? He's also honored with white hens, snails, white melon soup, pounded yams, and other foods such as eko, which is fermented corn wrapped in plantain leaves, okay? So Baba Batala is all white everything, period, okay? His priests and priestesses only wear white. You will see them in all white. So if you see a Babalawo or a Yanifa and they just dress white to the T's, you know that they're a Obatala priest or priestess, okay? So Obatala is the kindly father of all Orisha and all of humanity. He's also the owner of all heads and your mind, which is our Ori. Though it was Olorun who created the universe, it's Obatala who is the creator of the world and humanity. Obatala is the source of all that is pure, wise, peaceful, and compassionate. He is a warrior through and through as well. And this is how he enforces justice on the world. His color is white, of course, which is often accented with purple reds to represent his different sides of his paths. But white is always appropriate for Obatala. So it contains all the colors of the rainbow, okay, yet all the colors are above him, okay, we're representing white. Orisha is the only Orisha that has both male and female paths, okay? So like I said, he has 42 paths that represents him. Some of those energies are female as well, okay? Now, in the Yoruba religion, Obatala is a primordial energy, strongly associated with the nations of spiritual purity, wisdom, and ethics. According to myth, he was one of the 16 or 17 first divine spirits that Olodumare sent down to earth from the sky to prepare the world for humans, okay? So he is part of the 16 or 17 Irumile that came down to prepare the worlds for the humans to inhabit it. All right. So Obatala is the Orisha of purity, but is also associated with compassion, wisdom, honesty, ethics, purpose, redemption, peace, forgiveness, the new year, and resurrection. Now, Baba Batala represents good character, okay? Good character, and he holds all of us accountable for that good character, okay? For the balance that we contain in life, in our character. All the world is a stage. There are so many characters here represented by the people, represented by humans, or even mankind. And if you guys know the difference between mankind and human, then you guys know what I'm talking about. Characters change depending on where you are in your stage of life. It also changes by a certain experience that you have in life, whether it be through trauma or through joyous moments. Now, have you ever thought how you show up in the world? Have you ever viewed yourself as the actor or actress in this stage of life? How do people view you? How do you view yourself? Have you ever thought about that? Do you think that what you feel inside about yourself truly reflects outward to other people? Or do you think it's vice versa? Do you think everybody judges you wrong? Or does everybody predict your every mood, every move? Or are you mysterious to some people or open book to others? So I'm going to talk about 3 characteristics that one can play in this stage of life. Now, it could relate to you. You could resonate with these 3 characters, or you may have ran into these characters in life, or you could have elevated from these characteristics, okay? But I just want to talk about 3 today during this lecture, and I may continue this in another lecture, okay, with different characteristics, all right? So we're going to talk about how one is prepared for this role or created for this role, and how one masters this role in order to prepare for the next. So the first character that I would like to talk about is the Martyr. So I'm going to come in here hard. Yeah, I'm hitting hard. I'm here with the 1-2, okay? So the Martyr. So Webster defines a martyr as a person who voluntarily suffers death as a penalty of witnessing to and refusing to renounce a religion. The other definition is a person who sacrifices something of great value, especially life itself, for the sake of principle, a martyr to cause the freedom. The third definition is victim, especially a great or constant sufferer. So those who turn themselves into martyrs victimize themselves for the benefit of others. They constantly sacrifice resources against their own self-interest. The martyr takes on a role of the hero, so to speak. People who use martyr behavior pretends to have a good motive in doing so, okay? The martyr character is recognized as a psychological pattern, believe it or not. It's marked by self-sacrifice and service to others at your own expense. Identifying martyr traits and tendencies could prevent the stress in your relationships. Some aspects of the martyr character may seem desirable because you want to save people, but it's important to understand the negative implications as well. The martyr character is closely related to another character, which is also called the victim. They share similar motives, conditions, and behaviors. The victim character at its core involves someone viewing themselves as the victim in their life events. They often express the bad things always happening to them. They claim they have no control over their life, and they don't take responsibilities for the things that they do. Now, the motives for the victim are often unconscious. The victim provides people with a sense of safety and validation. As a victim, they don't have to take the blame for their actions. They get attention from the people around them, and they are validated by the support of others. So they support their bullshit. However, by putting the responsibility on others, they sacrifice their own control and ability to act, okay, like a crutch. They're hindering themselves. They rely on others for their self-worth. Now, both the martyr and the victim, this person only relies on others. Those who turn themselves into the martyrs victimize themselves for the benefit of others. They constantly sacrifice resources against their own self-interest. And they take this position or this characteristic as a hero, the role of the hero for others, but they're not saving themselves. People who use the martyr character, their behavior tends to have good motives for doing so. So I think this is good. They're doing this to help whoever they feel like they need to help. They have a good reason of why they need to be the martyr in this situation. Now, sometimes they may be forced into the role of the martyr because of their environment. People they're around, or they have to serve mama because mama is an addict, or daddy is paralyzed, or grandma can't get up and walk, or, I have to do this for the family. Now, some people that are also in service-based professions, they have also the same martyr characteristic, okay? And people also whose parents are incapable of taking care of them, they also develop the martyr characteristic, as I said earlier. Now, the martyr behavior or the martyr character differs depending on the cause, on when this character was created. So they may minimize accomplishments, okay? They may dismiss your actions, saying it's not important when you make sacrifices. You do it for the good feeling of making the sacrifice and not for the praise to be recognized, okay? They want to be that hero, but they don't want to be, praised for it or acknowledged for it. They do it because they think it's for the good of the collective. So the idea of being the hero can serve the sign of the martyr character. They may often play the hero to do everything yourself, solving everyone's problems without complaint, okay? Mr. Fixer-upper, all right? Fixing everyone else's lives except your own, okay? You find yourself helping everybody else and you're wondering why nobody else can help you, okay? Because no one else is vibrating on your energy or even above you to help pick you up, okay? So the martyr lacks self-care. They're pouring into everybody else from an empty jug. They're giving their all, but they have nothing to replenish themselves, okay? This energy that they're giving out to people is not being reciprocated. They out here dry, bone dry, thirsty to the bitch, okay? Now, if you're in a situation where you're constantly giving and letting your personal health slip away, because some people do this, you're likely exhibiting the patterns of the martyr character. Now, you're seeking chances to sacrifice. Some people, they want to feel needed. They're like, oh, let me help, I got it. Oh, but you got this. No, okay, it's okay, I got it. Oh, let me do it, I got it. No, here's my last dime, but you ain't paid your phone. I don't care, here, you need it. People have to make sure that they're not self-sacrifice to just become that hero. And becoming that hero, believe it or not, does feed your ego. But you trying to be humble about helping other people makes you feel like you're not feeding your ego, but it truly is, okay? So similar to the victim, the martyr looks for opportunities to step into harm's way. You may search for instances or create ways to make those sacrifices. You have unrealistic values. The martyr may view their actions as an expression of how much they care, how much they love you. You may feel that you're not working hard for people every day because it means that you don't love them enough, okay? So you may find some women who have kids and feel the need to give up their dreams and their goals because they have their children, okay? But then when their children get older, or even teenage year, if it wasn't for you, I could have did this, but nobody asked you to do that, mama. Your life was created for you to be able to handle everything. So why are you throwing it back in the child's face, okay? There was opportunities where you could handle what you needed to handle, but you didn't take the opportunity because you played the martyr, because you felt you had to save your kids. And now you're mad when your kids are out living their life and their dream, instead of helping you pick up the pieces that you dropped off on yourself, okay? It might be too real for some, but that happens a lot, especially in our community, okay? Now, the martyr character is often deeply embedded into your lifestyle. It's an everyday thing. This makes it hard to address and care for. So people could be like, I'm just like this. I'm just like, God gonna bless me. But God don't want you to be no fool out here too. It's a 50-50 relationship, all right? A lot of these people are building this characteristic, not realizing the negative implications that it has on them as well. They want to be blind, okay? Thinking that if you just sacrifice yourself, you will get the blessings, but you're not out here Jesus H. Christ with blonde hair and blue eyes. You're not out here on the cross, okay? So don't play that role. You're not shedding your blood for anybody, all right? This characteristic doesn't help anyone, doesn't even help yourself, because a lot of the times these people that you're saving, they are also playing the same victim role that you're playing in a way, okay? So you're pouring your energy into these people, and this energy is not being recycled. It's wasted energy. So you're pouring into them, you're lacking, they're lacking, and what y'all looking like? Out here thirsty and bones dry, okay? So it's fine to take a step back, all right? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with helping people as well, but like Aoife says, it's balance in everything. You have to balance it out. When you're losing yourself and your health and your wealth and how you view yourself, you know it's imbalance. You have to take a step back. Even if it is your loved ones, even if it is your kids, you got to figure it out, okay? There's always a way. So the martyr character is often deeply embedded into your lifestyle, like I said. So like I said earlier, you need to take the steps in shifting your thinking from becoming the martyr and make sure you're taking care of yourself. So first you have to be real with yourself and ask, why do you sacrifice so much for others and not yourself? Why do you stop your plans, your dreams, your goals for others who may be wasting your energy and not recycling it into positive energy? You may remember where this character was first created. Okay, you remember that point in life where you felt like you had to save people. Go back to that beginning. Go back to that person. Go back to that age. Go back to that nickname that you was once called when this person was created, because that nickname is the name of this character. Go back to that person and write a letter to that old self. Let them know that it's okay to choose you first. Forgive yourself as well. And forgive yourself for not loving yourself enough or for not even feeling enough. Now, after that, you get back in touch with your dreams, back in touch with your goals and your pursuit of happiness. You make your daily goals to practice self-love and self-worth. It's all right to take care of others, but it cannot be at the expense of your happiness and self-worth. It's okay to be selfish when it's about your own mental health and to maintain healthy boundaries. Okay, I said it hard because people need boundaries in your most precious relationships. Those who are the martyr, they must work on their solar plexus chakra. This is where your will to live and your courage to live resides. Your chi also resides here, which is your breath of life, and also your emi, which is your soul. It resides here in your solar plexus. The chakra must be cleansed and balanced in order for the martyr character to achieve the goal of living their true purpose and the perfect balance in life. So you got to live life for you first. You got to water your own garden and see how bountiful your harvest will be in this life. Okay? So I need to take a sip after that because that was a lot. I saw y'all shaking your head. We either played this or know someone who's like this. Okay? So the second characteristic I want to talk about is the narc, the narcissist. The narcissist is extremely self-involved to the degree that it makes them ignore the needs of those around them. While everyone may show occasional narcissistic behavior, the true narcissists frequently disregard others for their own feelings. They also do not understand the effect that their behavior has on other people. Now, the character of the narc can often be very charming and very charismatic. They often don't show negative behavior right away because they're trickster spirits, especially in relationships. They often like to surround themselves with people who feed their ego because they're energy vampires. They build relationships to reinforce their ideas about themselves, even if the relationships are superficial. It's all about them. Now, there are two different types of narcs. The two types can have common traits, but come from different childhood experiences. The two types also dictate the different ways people will behave in certain relationships. Now, narc 1 most likely was treated as if they were superior or above others during childhood. So this is that single child sometimes, or that spoiled, chosen favorite child energy. These expectations can follow them as they become adults. They tend to brag and be elitist. Narc 1s are always aggressive, dominant, and exaggerate their importance, okay? They are very self-confident and aren't sensitive, okay? Even if they ain't shit, they're gonna act like they're the shit, okay? Now, narc 2, usually the result of childhood abuse or neglect. They are much more sensitive than narc 1. Now, being a narc helps to protect them against feelings of inadequacy. Even though they go between feeling inferior and superior to others, they are often anxious when others don't treat them as if they're special, okay? Now, the common role of the narc is the belief that they are superior to others and deserve special treatment. They believe that others should be obedient to their wishes and that their rules do not apply to them. They have a major sense of entitlement. Another role of the narc is the manipulative and controlling behavior. The narc will at first try to please and impress you, razzle dazzle you, but eventually their own needs will always come out. When relating to other people, they will try to keep people at a certain distance in order to maintain control, okay? Sometimes that is that person that be ghosting, okay? That person that's in and out your life, okay? That's narc behavior. They may even exploit others to gain something for themselves. Now, one of the most common roles of the narc is the constant need for praise or admiration. People with this behavior need to feel validation from others and often brag or exaggerate their accomplishments for recognition. They also like to feel appreciated to boost their ego. So sometimes they create a whole life just to kind of impress you. So it can make you think that they're this different type of person. So you could be in awe and admiration when it's all a lie. Now, they lack empathy, which is another role that they contain. This means that they're willing or unable to empathize with the people who need them, with the people who love them. They don't care about their wants or their feelings at all. This also makes it difficult for them to take responsibility for their own behavior. So even though they act like they don't care, they don't really care how they treat you, as long as you're still praising them. And that's where this gaslighting energy comes in, okay? Now, the narc always already sees herself as superior to others. So they may become rude or abusive when they don't receive the treatment they think they deserve. So even though you may be crying and whining how they treat you, if you're not treating them how they think they deserve, that's all that matters. They're going to be more rude and more aggressive towards you. So while they hold themselves superior, they may speak or act rudely towards those who deem they are inferior. So you can't really check a narc on themselves sometimes because they think that you don't know what you're talking about. Now, the narc doesn't seek help since they don't fit the self-image they have of themselves. They may need the encouragement of a loved one to help them seek out help or begin their healing process. So if you know someone that is a narc and they are not a lover, but maybe a brother, sister, mother, sometimes you can penetrate to them and really get to them and let them see who they truly are, okay? Sometimes it's hard to get to them. So in a way, you probably will have to write a letter towards them to tell them, who they are, and how they're affecting the family and those that are around them, okay? But if you yourself is the narc, okay, you can begin to change yourself. You begin with your self-esteem, changing that to self-compassion. This means that you need to treat yourself with kindness instead of comparing yourself to others, okay? That feeling of inadequacy, okay? Feeling that you need to impress people, like you're worth it, like you're more than enough, okay? That's narc energy, all right? There's no reason to compare yourselves because everybody has different paths. Everybody has a different gift, role in life and this collective, okay? You have to accept yourself where you are and who you are. You have to stop trying to evaluate yourself against others, okay? Because this can lower your need for praise and recognition. You will also need to humble yourself to the Most High, okay? Or God's going to do it for you. That's that pride before the fall, okay? Now, the narc must truly work on their root chakra. This is ego-based off of their fear of inadequacy. The narc must be critical with their behavior and character in order to change their ways. Building true compassion by forgiving those who created this monster in their childhood. Stop manipulating the role of others in their life to gain and to see how much service they can be for you, okay? How much their gifts can serve you, all right? You have to make sure that you yourself are serving the collective. Now, knowing that it's okay to feel powerless at times and trusting this, okay? Letting go and allowing God to take care of you, all right? Instead of trying to create the narrative, okay? Making a false character for others to praise you. Like that's you not accepting who you are, not accepting the way that you were created in the likeness that you're created. If you see yourself as divine, and everything that's happening to yourself as divine, you would know and trust in your path and your journey, okay? And know that your ancestors are there for you and that they could play a certain and powerful role in your life, all right? But just know that your ancestors will too criticize you, okay? But they do it out of love so you could be corrected, okay? Corrected for true change in your life. All right. So the last character I want to talk about is the attacher. The attacher. The one who is attached. Not everybody is attached, but some people lack the control of attachments, okay? The letting go, all right? Mastering the art of letting go, mastering the art of attachments, okay? This is one thing that we definitely are having to master as humans here, okay? You have some people that are very, very stricken by death because they're attached to the human part of the person versus the soul spirit part of that loved one that was in your life. Okay. Now I might go over some people's heads what I just said, but it's real, it's true. Okay. We are not to be attached to the body, but be attached to the spirit, because that is the one that is immortal. All right. So attachment is the ability to make emotional bonds with other people. It starts at birth and it continues into early and later life. It is a way of relating to another person. The type of attachment you have with your parents or main caregiver affects your relationship as an adult. From the first attachment relationship, you have a blueprint that affects your life as a whole from here on out. When emotional needs aren't met or responded to, this can have a long-lasting effect, creating it the insecure attacher. Now, there's three main attachment or the attacher characters, okay? You have your secure attacher, the anxious attacher, and the disorganized attacher. Now, being any type of the attacher character can shape the way you react and behave in your adult relationships, especially with a romantic partner. Now, understanding these characteristics can help you learn what you need to do and how to overcome these problems, okay? Now, the secure attacher has empathy, but can set boundaries. They are satisfied in their close relationships and feel safe and stable. As a child, their parents were probably good at responding to their needs and managing their own stress, in their own lives as well, and managing stress in a healthy way in the household. So the secure attacher has a good sense of self-worth, openly expresses their feelings. They ask for support very easily, and they also give it just the same. And like being with others, they don't get anxious if they're not getting support, help, or love. They're just secure in their relationships. Now, the anxious attacher, they're usually needy. They are anxious and they have low self-esteem. They want to be close with others, but are afraid that people don't want to be with them. As a child, their parents probably were inconsistent. They might have responded only sometimes to their needs. Other times they may have been distracted or just not even there at all. They always gave them to grandma, big mama, or papa. Now they may have felt anxious and unsure and felt that their parents were all over the place as well, okay? Especially parents who deal with mental health or addictions as well. Now, their parents were probably unavailable when they were children. They may have rejected your needs or emotions, and you learn to withdraw yourself to soothe yourself. You learn to avoid closeness, or maybe never knew what it felt like, and now avoid it altogether. Like it feels weird when someone tries to get close to you. Like, ew, that's weird. What is that? Ew, what is that? No. Don't love on me. No. Don't like me. No. What is that? You're my friend. Ew, why you love me? Ew. Okay, that is the anxious attacher. Now, the disorganized attacher, they don't feel they deserve love at all. They usually have an intense fear, which came from childhood trauma, abuse, or neglect. They have also felt that their caregiver or their parents ignored them, their needs, and also they probably had chaotic behavior in the house as well. That was also scary and traumatizing as growing up. They may also have had their own emotional problems. So this could be parents who also lack emotional empathy or just healthy emotional boundaries or just emotional health altogether. Now, the impact of the anxious attacher is that it can make it difficult for them to cope with stress and change of life, okay? Anything that stresses them out or shifts in their life, it's hard for them to cope, to shift, and to adjust themselves. Okay. They also could have trouble in romantic relationships and friendships and just relationships in general, even coworkers. Now, the character of the anxious attacher and the disorganized attacher are usually created from trauma, neglect, early separation from parents, long bouts of being alone, like you was always alone by yourself, inconsistency in parenting and emotional response, a caregiver who was depressed, an inexperienced mother. Okay, a mother just tried her best, but just didn't know what to do. Now, if you had trouble in your early childhood, as an adult, you might not trust others. Okay, so the anxious attacher, they usually are afraid of emotions, intimacy, and emotional closeness. They want to pull away from the person as the person gets needy. They want to love on them. They want to hold them. They want to be there for them. Okay, they pull away. They also are independent and don't need others. They disregard other people's feelings as well. And they might not have healthy boundaries. Okay. Sometimes they need constant reassurance. They're needy or clingy at times as well. They could become obsessed or overly fixated on someone. So this is someone, if they find someone to make them feel worthy or worth something, they become very clingy and very attached to this person. Okay. Feeling that this person might let them go, just like their caregiver did when they were little. Okay. Now, they also crave intimacy, but they can't trust others. So this is almost like a bipolar type mind, imbalance back and forth. And they're also anxious or jealous when they're away from your partner. So you guys could have someone that's crazy. I'm going to work. Why? You fucking somebody at work? What you doing at work? Why you always at work? I got to pay the bills. No, you're not. Okay. That's that crazy stuff. That's that anxious attacher. Okay. Now, it's important to remember that being the anxious attacher doesn't always mean that you weren't loved as a child. It just means that you didn't receive all the emotional responses that you needed growing up. Your personality and other life experiences may also have played a role. So you could also develop this in your younger years, younger 20s as well. Okay. Now, the thing that you could do to prevent becoming an unhealthy attacher from affecting your relationships, all right? The thing that you have to do is learning how to master your communication skills. This is opening and balancing your throat chakra. You have to learn how to express your emotions and ask for what you want. Ask for what you need and make sure that you're clear in your relationships, crystal clear in what you need and what you want. You also have to learn the nonverbal cues like posture and gesture. Learn how to read people when they're not speaking. Okay, this is going to help you better interpret how your partner feels. So make sure you're paying attention to not only what you need, but also what your partner needs and how they're speaking to you non-verbally. This could help you react more appropriately, okay? So if your partner knows that you be tripping sometimes they don't want to say what they want to say to you in truth because they don't want you to be in your feelings or react or lash out to them, okay? So they may be feeling that they're walking on eggshells. So pay attention to the signs, especially when you're trying to shift this energy or this characteristic, okay? Now, you also want to find someone who is the secure attacher. Now, it could feel uncomfortable at first having a relationship with someone who's very secure in their attachments, but this could help you understand what a stable and safe relationship feels like. You also want to try to build friendships with people who have high self-esteem, good boundaries, and are securely attached. Okay. So vibrate with those that you wish to be like. Okay. Now, these are the 3 characteristics that one may find themselves in when they're in balance and have no relationship with their Ori. It's important to remember how vital it is to create a powerful relationship with your Ori. You must venerate, appease, and cleanse your Ori on a regular basis. These 3 characteristics that I just spoke about, they're created in life and can be detrimental to your purpose and to your path. You're to enhance your soul's journey in this life and not to hinder, okay, or repeat the same karmic cycles from previous lifetimes, or the same karmic cycles that your bloodlines and your ancestors have also repeated, okay? Now, Baba Obatala can help you build your character and create a closer relationship with your Ori, since he governs all Oris. He's the one who governs all Oris, even the Oris of the Orisha. So having a relationship with Baba will hold you accountable on how you show up and the role that you play in this world. Today, as we venerate him, we have to be real. We have to be real with ourselves. What is a character type that you're currently playing on this earthly stage? Okay, now may not be the 3 that I just spoke about, but everyone plays a role. Everyone has a characteristic. Everyone's playing some type of role, okay, on this earthly stage. Now, does your role feel in alignment with your vibration? Are you happy when you wake up in the morning? Do you feel fulfilled in your life? Do you move in life with a sense of purpose? How are you impacting those that are around you? These are all important questions when you are evaluating your role. You are a part of the collective consciousness. So every thought and every action you create and perform here affects the collective. Remember this when you look at yourself deeply, when you tap in, when you meditate, when you look at yourself in the mirror. Okay, you need to reflect in your truth and rewrite or adjust your role consciously and accordingly. Okay, so that is a lecture. And I want to let you guys know, like Muna Elway said earlier in the beginning of with the announcements, I'm going to go ahead and do the 21-day Obatala candle ritual. Okay, I'm going to start it here probably in the next few weeks to go ahead and you guys could get your supplies and whatnot ready together. Okay, so if you guys are interested in that, interested in building a relationship with Baba Obatala to help you with your characteristics, to help you, have a stronger and healthier, more powerful relationship with your Ori, with your higher self, this is a very, very powerful 21-day ritual to get started with. Okay. So if you have done this before, but you want to repeat it, you guys can. Okay, you guys just let me know. What's today? 26. So let's say we're going to start it probably the weekend of the 10th. I gotta see because I wanted to fall on a Batala's day. Okay, so we'll just say 2 weeks from now. But if you guys are interested, let me know. Okay. So that's your sermon. And do you guys have any questions? Did it hit home? You guys know somebody like this? Are you somebody that's like this? Or you used to be? Y'all don't speak at the same time now.
Well, I mean, I can, Lord Jesus. Well, you low-key called me out at the first part. That's why I was like, hold on, let me cut this off and light some up. Because you have to do all that. You did not have to do that. But funny enough, I saw a bit of myself in number 1 and 3. And I've definitely dealt with number 2. Mm-hmm. If anything. I will say, I'm outside, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I will say I've teetered with the martyr thing and felt like in some ways I was putting myself out there too much. I think it came from the fact that I felt like a part of my destiny was to share my journey and help other people along my way. But I did believe that it got to a point to where the relationship became toxic because those folks, or at least I was allowing my gift to become a crutch to people. Instead of people using the advice that, or using, me becoming a medium or being a medium for them to get messages to move forward their life, I became a deeper key into their drama.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sacrificing my gift, why I even came into this whole partnership in the first place, to, I guess at this point, I really don't even know, why I was putting myself. But I also feel like I understand what it was like to not have the help. That's really what it was. I understood what it was like to not have the help.
Mm-hmm.
I understood what it was like to be lost in your shit and no one was there to help you through it. So a piece of me was like, okay, well, if I have the gift, I can give it out, not knowing that, I guess in some ways it was feeding an ego. Because it was just like, I know I can help you, so let me do it. When in actuality, if it was the other way around, like that person wouldn't haven't been able to help me.
Nope.
I did find strength in being able to use my gift. But Marisha wasn't making money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't, it wasn't necessarily moving me forward, and not to say that I haven't been able to manifest. I mean, I'm here now was a manifestation. But to see it be able to move other people forward and not see that same energy be reciprocated, it made me cynical. It didn't make me distrustful of people. It made me think back of other times that I put myself out there thinking that the saying would be because Marisha wanted to, live life in these rose-colored glasses. She took it off. It wasn't there. So, I got to a period to where, I felt like it was just nothing of self-sacrifice. I was like, well, maybe, maybe I'm supposed to just give to these people, and no, I wasn't. I think the whole lesson was like, stop giving yourself to these people. I even archived my Facebook group because I learned that with the intentions of what it was, because I didn't do it for me. I did it because I was told to build a platform.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even through that, not any type of reciprocal energy. And then from the third part, my insecure attachment came from being abandoned. My insecure and from lovers. Like the person who I gave my virginity to disappeared after 2 days later.
Dang.
And till this day, I do not know where he is. I have not heard a word.
Wow.
And so ever since then, in many ways, I kind of chased, that could be one thing, and then clinged on because I felt like one day I could wake up and I could never hear from this person again. In some way or shape, it's probably my fault. And so I had to heal that, and I still am. The fact that I have to prove that I'm worthy of not disappearing on. Or, okay, damn.
In a way, what you're saying is, since that happened to you earlier in your life, you became the martyr to kind of suffocate that vulnerability or that abandonment issue that you had. In a way, you did that to suffer and to cover it all up. So the thing is how you look at yourself. It doesn't matter how anybody else look at yourself. It's what you value yourself in being, and accepting your flaws and all. Whether someone talks shit about it or not, it doesn't matter what they say. It just matters what you say about yourself. And I talked about this with you before. You are going through a dark night of the soul because you are ascending and you're getting rid of all those things that were attached to you that made you feel inadequate. But those things were to build you up and to view yourself in these different lights and aspects so you can be the one to serve the people. The only thing that you're having to master now is those boundaries.
Yeah.
So, and I know from experience, because I too am a working priestess and I too have so many people pulling from me on every side. And you guys already know, how you doing, priestess? A motherfucker tired.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So sometimes I have to say no. I know my role and my purpose, but sometimes I just be like, no. Okay. But I'm also blessed to have people like my moderators and them to be there for when I can't be there. So that is me working what I'm capable with doing and utilizing those who also believe in me and see me for who I am to help me for that. Okay. So sometimes you have to utilize those people in your life. So if they don't see you for who you are, fuck them. Forget that not feeling adequate enough for them to be in your life, or feeling that, oh, they may leave you, so you have to act a certain way. It doesn't matter, because where you're going, half of those people that are in your life right now can't go with you.
And that's what I learned.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to let go a lot of people. I mean, I moved. To the point where I moved,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to create that same environment. So, it's some people who I had to already throw in the last court case. Like, I just met you last week, but look,
Yeah, it matters. And plus the position that you play in the collective as a doula, like you're there when the portal is open. So you have to be very precise of your vibration and energy. And when those babies come and that portal is open, you have to be very, very, how can I say it, vigilant on what comes off of you and what's attached to you, even in that spirit realm. So you have to be, in a way, perfected.
Yeah.
That's why you're going through the things you're going through now. And it sucks that it hurts and you cry. Every time I talk to you, you cry. But you're one of my cry babies. But that's good, because that's cleansing. Okay. But you're going to be okay. You're not going backwards. I hope you don't feel that way. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Backwards at all. So
I don't.
But I'm proud of you. Knowing you for the year that I've known you, you've changed a lot. And I'm glad that you're able to recognize and admit those things that went on in your life, because that's the first part of healing, is accepting and acknowledging.
I am an open book,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm learning to be a lot more discreet with it.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for this space. I tell you that all the time. And that's why, because I can be here and know that it's respected.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome, baby. Thank you. Anybody else got something to say before we go on with the rest of Ose?
Hi, I wanted to say, I definitely resonate with the mortar feeling.
Mm-hmm.
My mom still is and has been in an abusive relationship, verbally and mentally, since I was 2. Mm-hmm. So, that wanting to please somebody before you please yourself, and what I was taught was, you make sure that the man is catered to before he even thinks about something, before he's even saying he's hungry, my food should already been done, and that was something that I saw in my household. So just being that mortar and wanting to fix everything, even though I'm busted up inside and out, I know that all too well. And I told myself this year that I was gonna stop pouring so much into everybody else and stop pouring into myself. And everything has been falling into place, even finding this space and, being able to connect with you guys. It's all been right when I said I was going to stop. I'm going to stop giving so much of myself to other people. Because then I'm sitting here looking crazy, like drained. And me being an empath and knowing that like I can feel others' emotions and always being that listening ear for somebody, and nobody never said like, oh, how you feel, and really want to know how I feel, you know? Like through my pregnancies, I have 4 children. And from my second to my only my 2 middle, actually, I had postpartum. And no one asked me how I was doing the whole time, but I was there for everyone else. And, you know, I was doing things for everybody else those years. And no one truly asked me how was I. Like, and then when I finally felt comfortable enough to confide in my grandmother about having postpartum, she was like, "Oh, like that's nothing to be like. That's nothing to be upset about. Like that's not depression. Like you were just acting crazy." Yes, yes, and this is a woman from the South, so I give her that little bit of grace. But she just like, you know, downplayed everything when she wanted to write and answer her phone calls. Why was I being missed? I'm like, this is why I was depressed. Like I'm telling you this now. She's like, they don't understand that. And just so, you know, trying to find my way without feeling like, well, I gotta make sure they understand. Like, no, fuck that. At this point, like, it's not doing me any justice. And I honestly, I still see that because my mom and her mom still live in the same household and that mindset is still the same. There's no growth there. There's no growth. It's still very like stuck in that same old ways. And like, I don't want that for my daughters. I have 2 girls. And even my sons, because like my brother was like raised, he didn't have to do nothing. He still doesn't know how to do laundry. He doesn't know how to cook, boil an egg. Like, you know what I mean? So like that old school mentality where the man just sits on his ass and the woman does everything and she looks tired and beat up, like it's done with. I'm so over that. Like, so I really appreciate your service because that like resonated so much with me. Like, and that told me for sure, literally my phone hung up, everything died. But when I got back on was when you started saying that. And I was like, well, look at here. I need to hear that part for sure. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad it helped out. And you're the one who's going to be breaking that generational curse. So that's why it's heavy on you like that. So yeah, don't prove to them how you feel or what's going on in your life. Just show them.
Yes. And that's honestly been the way. Like I stopped talking because when I was talking, it'd be like, oh, okay, that's nice. Not really feeling that genuine, like, oh, she really gonna do it. But when I pull up and show out and I actually do it, it's like, oh, okay. So more doing, less talking for sure.
That's right. Say less.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else got something to say? Nope. Okay. All right. So, what you call it? Muna Airway put the love offering up in the chat. But if you guys want to make a donation, if this did help you guys out here, we could take a love offering to my PayPal or Cash App. So what this does is this helps your brothers and sisters in the mentorship. Whenever we have classes or things where you have to buy supplies and stuff like that, or just any type of need, we use the love offerings to help your brothers and sisters here in the mentorship, okay? I don't just go to my pockets and I buy a bag of weed or anything like that, or some eyelashes, okay? This is going to your brothers and sisters for when they need help and whatnot, okay? We're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna post the same flyer into the chats later on as well, if you don't get the information here, okay? All right, so that is O'Shea. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna go ahead and go out with a prayer, our closing prayer with Muna Ewe. And the reason why I call her Muna Ewe because she is one of the students who did come to the first Eleke ceremony, as well as Stephanie and China Parker. So if you hear me call Stephanie and China Parker different names, it's because I'm calling them by their spiritual name, okay? I want them to change their names while they're on here, but you know, they be talking about work or whatever, probably don't know how to change it. So if you guys hear me call them a different name, it's because I'm calling them as their spiritual name, because I'm calling that part of them out into the forefront, okay? Just like my spiritual name is Monjasola, okay? All right. I'll let you close this out.
Today, as with all days, we are thankful. Thankful to our Ori for guiding us through every moment in our life. Thank you for being our direct link to God. Thank you to all of our divine, uplifted Igungun, those protectors, healers, and guides for all the work that you put in for us, seen and unseen. We ask for forgiveness for the times that we neglected to walk in our divinity. Baba Obatala, we thank you for speaking through Priestess Monjasola today. When you speak, Baba, silence descends, calling forth the pristine ashe of protection. When you speak, prayers are already granted by the divinity in the universe, sent directly to Olodumare. We are grateful that when you speak, miracles flow in streams to uplift all. When you speak, Baba Obatala, the chaos of bad character finds order, coolness, and sacred joy. Curses reincarnate and become blessings. Love is given a new language of purity, and family becomes the sanctuary. Thank you, Baba, for speaking through Priestess in truth, compassion, and peace. I pray that this prayer reaches and whispers to the core of Baba Obatala. I pray that we continue to be nurtured in his healing and loving gaze. I pray this with confirmation of my connection to you. Ashe and amen.
Shay, that was good, baby.
Thank you.
Okay, my loves. So you guys, I see someone posted, wanted to know about OB. We're going to put a post in the chat on where to buy OB. I'm going to make a chat room for those of you who want to join the 21-day Obatala candle ritual. If you guys are in the SU ritual, no. One thing at a time, okay? We'll do that later, but this is for basically the new students that will want to go ahead and join in this ritual, okay?
And SU ritual will be done this coming Friday. You say you're gonna start in 2 weeks, so we're straight.
Okay. Hold on, let me see. Thank you, baby.
Oh,
I did say that, yeah, we're gonna be done on the 7th, right?
yeah, something like.
Okay. All right, then you guys can start the next one if you want to. Okay.
Baby, Ia Lede said, don't play with her. My
She said,
sister
hold on.
don't play.
She said, I want in on that too. Okay, my loves. Well, I thank you so much. I appreciate you guys coming. Loshe. Until the next time. I love y'all, okay?
Love you too. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
No